1789, one of the first things that was done was to establish a chaplaincy. It was recognized that prayer was needed as early as May of 1787 at the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, when Benjamin Franklin, seeing that the body had reached an impasse, suggested that they pray.
And the irony is that in 2013, when the Senate reached another impasse that threatened to shut down the government, it was the chaplain's prayer that captured the nation's attention.
Let us pray. Have mercy upon us, O God, and save us from the madness. We acknowledge our transgressions, our shortcomings, our smugness, our selfishness, and our pride. People responded positively, for the most part, to the scolding nature of my prayer, because I was articulating what they were feeling.
But one man in Washington has the catbird seat, has prime real estate, to tell Congress every day to their faces exactly how he feels about what they are doing to the country, and they have to listen to it, and they cannot talk back.
And it's interesting, I was receiving positive feedback from both sides of the aisle. It is unusual for a person to be celebrated by Rachel Maddow and to be Fox News's Player of the Week on the same week. But that is what happened to me.
If the shutdown needs a hero, I think we've got one.
But beyond the attention the chaplain received is the concern for a deep division that continues to plague America.
I think that our lawmakers reflect the country. I think they reflect the attitudes of the people they represent. I think America is more polarized now than it was 10 years ago. And because it is more polarized, you see that polarization on Capitol Hill as well.
Whether Barry Black is delivering his prayer before the Senate or guest preaching back home in a Baltimore church, the heart of the message is the same.
When we were dealing with the federal shutdown, I didn't panic because my kingdom is not of this world.
I believe that the averting of this precipice happened because not only did I pray for 45 seconds to a minute, but there were thousands of people of faith who were lifting their hearts passionately and fervently to the sovereign God of the universe.
When it looked like things were going to implode, I didn't panic because I'm not depending on government to save me. Admiral Black, what are you putting your hope in? Dr. Black, what are you leaning on? I'm not putting them in stocks and bonds. I'm not putting them in academic pedigree. On Christ, the solid rock I stand. All around is sinking sand. All of the ground is sinking sand.
On a sprawling, picturesque campus in Los Angeles is the Motion Picture and Television Fund. It's a senior retirement community with a hospital and care center. What makes it unique is that it's for people who made their living in the entertainment industry. Here, show business is in everyone's blood.
Monica, you're a bank teller at a bank, and Al, you are a robber coming to the bank.
I want you to take all the money out of these drawers, put it in an envelope, and give it to me right now.
I know you. most likely to succeed.
Well, I'm succeeding.
So what the f*** are you doing with a gun in a bank?
Because I'm a bank robber, very successful one. You have to pick on something.
MPTF, as it's now known, was founded by some of Hollywood's earliest stars, who recognized even then that while a few in show business became rich and famous, many others, often those behind the cameras, struggled.
There is a story out there that Mary Pickford walked onto a soundstage, plunked a bucket in the middle of the floor and said, you know, Joe Smith can't feed his family and can't make his rent. We're working, donate what you can, and we're going to help him out. And then one day, if you need help, we're going to do the same thing. And a large part of the fund is here to support the people who make everything happen, but don't make the hand over fist dollars.
And of course the chaplain here, Rabbi Arthur Rosenberg, is himself no stranger to the lights.
The only thing I wanted to do from the time I was a small child, I wanted to be an actor. And not just an actor, I want to be a star. I want to be rich and famous.
What the hell is that?
What is it?
I was fortunate to be in a lot of, you know, sort of important films like Coming Home and Being There, Footloose.
Do you see now? Do you see? You don't go waving your flags around here without people taking shots at now. This is not the first time. My business was off, but people are taking business away from me. And your Aunt Lulu's been getting some ugly phone calls, and today your mother lost her
So
job.
that had been all I cared about until, you know, that fateful day in 1992 when I had a spiritual awakening and my life turned over. Julie's my friend, and I adore Julie. Don't I adore you?
And I adore you.
And you had your 100th, she had her 100th birthday.
In August.
Yes, please, in August. The age when white hair was respected is over. It tells us in the Bible, in the Torah, that when we see someone with white hair, we're supposed to stand up. So we've moved away from that as a culture. We don't seem to value longevity, experience, life experience. As we get older, we have a wealth of experience that we want to share, we want to communicate, and people are just too busy, they don't want to hear it.
Yet others in Hollywood do want to hear it, and have embraced this community.
Hello, I'm a visitor.
I'm not. You're not.
90 years now.
Me too.
Do you do any famous sets?
When I started at MGM for 5 years, I worked on Dr. Chicago.
Oh, wow. Where's a little cuddle?
Okay. 102, eh? I like cuddles.
Yeah, I like cuddles too. You must know some incredible techniques at your age. I'm going to be tapping you up.
I'm here with George Clooney, and all my fellow residents are really jealous of me right now.
Well, not all of them. There are a few people that, you know, have fired me over there.
Oh, really?
No, that's not true.
Recording!
Action.
Hi, this is Rabbi Rosenberg with your thought for the day. Carl Sagan, the scientist, said, somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. I love that.
The rabbi records his daily message for the residents, right on the campus, in a trailer that's home for MPTF's own closed-circuit television station.
The internal television station is intended to give people a creative opportunity, because creativity doesn't end when you're 45 or when you're 65.
But while MPTF provides a chance for members to continue to practice their skills, there are also community members here who find themselves facing serious challenges.
When your first conversation I asked you, you know, so what do you believe? What gives you strength? What is your spirituality? And you said the famous phrase,
God's a pinhead.
God is a pinhead. And you were very angry.
Very angry.
And today, Doreen is a single mother in the middle of her life who faced a difficult diagnosis.
So when I was first diagnosed, there's just, I had the sense of just being
dragged into hell, you know, and holding on by my, you know, classic fingernails, and I was dragged into hell.
So you surely didn't trust God.
No, you know, I couldn't find the right words to heal me. I couldn't find the right prayer. I couldn't find the right thoughts. What I wanted was someone to give me answers. I wanted to argue, you know, like, how could this happen to me? I did everything right. Like, how could this happen?
And part of a chaplain's work is to relink you back to whatever is your spiritual connection. Not to sell you mine, but to relink you back to what you inherently know and believe and care for.
You look into the future to see what it is you're going to go through. And it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. And there's no place to take that. There's no place there's no friend, there's no therapist, there's nobody who you can take that terror. But I knew I could take this to you.
Whatever their job is, I know somebody who did it, I understand, and the amount of people with whom I've worked over the years who end up coming to our health centers or to our residents is amazing. They joke with me because I always see, they call me up and say, would you meet a patient by the name of so-and-so? Oh, I know him. I worked with him 30 years ago. In fact, we're on our way right now to visit one of the patients with whom I work. And we found out that back in early 70s, we both worked on Heart to Heart together. He was on the crew and I was one of the actors.
Hi, Boychik.
The rabbi is here.
Hi, Boychik.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm okay.
Part of my honor, not my job, my honor, is to listen to them. Tell me your stories. Tell me what it's about for you.
My body is losing strength due to the neuromuscular disorder that's kind of wending through my body, and you know, the doctors don't know what it is. Nobody can fix it. Nobody can stop it. And sometimes I can't accept that, and there are days that I'm just furious about it.
When you're facing a life-changing, life-altering, perhaps a life-ending illness, the stakes go up. You know, the questions get bigger.
Mark Wise worked in production on some of television's top shows. Now leaving the house is difficult, and one of his great joys is when the rabbi visits and reads from the Torah.
So, Shemot, these are the names of the sons of Israel who came to Egypt with Jacob, each coming with his household.